What's happening, guys? Today we got Manchester City versus Aston Villa. Um, on account of there have been 123 players released in the Premier League alone last 2-3 days, or whenever there was a certain day. It was like 123. So 123 players out there who could possibly be a benefit to a club, and they come in free, which is always a good thing for clubs. They're always looking for that free good player that's free, and they always want. That's always a good thing. Um, and there are a couple players I wanted to talk about personally who are good players, but they've just their clubs decided, hey, I'm not going to renew their contract, or they were all out of their mind, or whatever. Except one player I can understand here, but whatever. Alright, I'm going to talk about 5 players today who I think are good players and they can make a benefit to other squads depending on certain circumstances. And I say that because I have Owen Hargreaves on this list, and if he weren't injured all the time, then he could be a potential benefit to most teams. The 5 players I got on here are Matthew Upson, Owen Hargreaves, Sebastian Larsson, Carew, and Patrick Vieira. And I'm going to start with Owen Hargreaves, who came from Manchester United. He was a good player, and if you were around for when Owen Hargreaves was not when he was fit, which could be a hard thing to find, but he was fit. He was a good player, always a good player. Really knows how to play the pass. Lockdown midfielder there. He can play defensively, and he can play attackingly as well. And unfortunately for him, he had many injuries. There was always an injury problem with him. He came back last year from an injury, and I believe he was on the pitch for 5 minutes before they took him off, and then he was gone for the rest of the season again with injuries. And it's unfortunate, for a talent like that to have to go through what he's going through, but I guess that's the way the world works sometimes. And I think he can make a benefit to many teams. I think possibly if he doesn't mind having a smaller wage, then maybe some of those smaller teams, the ones coming up from the Championship, like Queen's Park and Swansea and Norwich, possibly Norwich. I think Queen's Park are set for the midfield. I think Queen's Park will do pretty well. Not necessarily mid-table well, but I think they could do pretty well with the team they've got. And they've been going out and getting players anyway. But the other two could possibly do well with Owen Hargreaves at the middle. But again, circumstances-wise, if he's fit, he'll be well if he's fit. But yeah. The next player, Matthew Upson from West Ham. Quality defender, I think. And he's had some casts for the England squad, and there can be plenty of teams looking at him, defender-wise. Could be Arsenal, possibly. I don't think Arsenal are going. I think they want some tougher guys, but you never know. Arsenal, Bolton, possibly. Bolton, they're almost certain they're going to lose Cahill, so Bolton could be a big possibility. Those kinds of teams missing some defenders there could looking to pick up Upson. I can guarantee you Upson will be in the Premier League next year. No matter what you think of the guy, I can tell you he'll be in the Premier League next year. But yeah, so defender there from West Ham. I understand why West Ham let him go. I know you have to let players like that go. They're good. I mean, they deserve their glory, if you want to put it, up at the Premier League if they can play at that level. So, it's all good. Another player, Carew, the Aston Villa striker. who's a mystery to me. Aston Villa didn't use him last year. He went to Stoke City on loan, and he did pretty well. I guess he was injured for a while, and he didn't play too many games. But I know he did pretty well. But when he played for Villa 2 years ago, he was good. All right, had 105 games for Aston Villa. He scored 52 times, 1 in every 2. I think that's decent enough for me. As a striker wise, if I wanted a striker, I think looking at those numbers, it's not bad. Especially considering EPL, he's had Premier League experience. He's a tough player. And it was just a mystery to me. Teams who can be looking at him, possibly Sunderland. They've been looking for a striker. Pick up Nagog, and they're looking at Crouch. Teams like that. Another player, Svadian Larson, the Birmingham player. And he's good. I know he was an Arsenal young Arsenal player. He was in the Arsenal Academy or whatever. And a lot of people think he'll be going back there. And he's good enough for it. If there was a bright spot for Birmingham City last year, it was their defense. A lot of times they could hold teams to 0 goals good chunk of the time. And finally, when the big name on the list a lot of people are talking about is Patrick Vieira. And a lot of people, I mean, he's a good player, and it's unfortunate he had to go to Manchester City when they were looking at when Manchester City are kind of the team looking to just buy, and after a while you just lose your spot and you're never going to get it back, considering they just keep buying and trying and then discarding, buying and trying and discarding. That's something Manchester City do. But if Patrick Vieira, a lot of people thinking is going back to Arsenal to be a player manager. Actually, not manager, but player coach. He could be playing a little bit, and he could be coaching other sections of this Arsenal squad, midfield wise. And I know he seems like the kind of character who can do something like that, and all the luck in the world to him and something like that. I know being a player coach is pretty difficult, and if he gets that position, then all the power in the world to him. But as this game comes to a close, 123 free transfers out there available, guys, so maybe your teams will pick some up later.